My name is Emma. I went back to the cabin after 10 long years. The wooden walls still smelled of pine and smoke, just like the summer when I first met him, Daniel. Back then, I was 20, wild with dreams, and convinced that love could survive anything. We had made promises under the stars, whispered secrets into the night, and carved our names on the old oak tree by the lake. But time is cruel. Life took me away from that cabin, and Daniel stayed. I told myself I'd return. And now, after 10 years of wandering, I did. Only to find that the man I loved looked me in the eye and acted as though we had never met. The first encounter. The sun was setting when I reached the cabin. I saw him chopping wood, his broad shoulders moving with practiced rhythm. For a moment, I froze. The sight of him stole the air from my lungs. "Daniel," I whispered. He stopped, lifted his head, and looked at me. His blue eyes, once so familiar, were blank. "Yes," he said, polite, calm, but distant. "It's me," I stammered, my voice trembling. "Emma." He blinked, his expression unchanging. "I'm sorry. Do I know you?" The world tilted. I laughed nervously, thinking he was joking. "Of course you know me. We spent an entire summer here together. We were in love." He shook his head slowly, pity flickering in his gaze. "I think you're mistaken." My heart cracked. 10 years of longing, of imagining this reunion, and all I received was a stranger's indifference. The weight of memories. That night, I couldn't sleep. I walked to the lake where we once swam under the moonlight. I ran my fingers over the oak tree where our names were still carved, E+D, forever. The carving was weathered, but it was there, proof that what we had was real. So why was he pretending otherwise? The next morning, I went to the village cafe, hoping someone could explain. Mrs. Turner, the owner, recognized me immediately. "Emma, my goodness, it's been years. You're back." "Yes," I said quickly. "Do you know Daniel Miller?" He seems to have forgotten me." Her smile faded. She leaned closer. "Oh, child, you don't know." "Know what?" I whispered. She sighed, her eyes heavy with sorrow. 10 years ago, Daniel was in an accident. Fell from a horse. Hit his head badly. He survived, but he lost many of his memories. Entire parts of his past were wiped away. Including, it seems, you. The room spun. He hadn't chosen to forget me. He couldn't remember me. Fighting for recognition. I returned to the cabin determined to help him remember. "Daniel," I said, holding up an old photograph of us I had carried all these years. We were laughing by the lake, my hair tangled, his arms around me. "This is us. Don't you see?" He took the photo, studied it with polite confusion, then handed it back. "That's you, yes. But the man beside you, I can't recognize him." Tears burned my eyes. "That man is you." He frowned, then softened. "Emma, I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt you, but I truly don't remember." Day after day, I tried. I cooked his favorite stew, he complimented the taste but said he didn't recall ever eating it before. I played our song on the old radio, he said it was nice but unfamiliar. I showed him the oak tree, he admired the carving as though it belonged to strangers. It was like trying to breathe life into ashes. The pain of letting go. One evening, sitting by the fire, I asked, "Do you ever feel empty? Like something's missing?" He stared into the flames. "Sometimes. Like there are shadows in my mind I can't reach. But I've learned not to chase them. I live in the present. And what if the past held something beautiful? Something worth remembering?" I whispered. He glanced at me with gentle eyes. "Then I hope it returns on its own." But, forcing it, he shook his head. "It only causes pain." That was when I realized the cruel truth. I was the only one still clinging. He was at peace with his forgotten past. But I wasn't. A flicker of hope. On my last night at the cabin, I packed my things, deciding to leave at dawn. I couldn't stay in a place where my love had become a ghost. But before I left, I walked once more to the lake. The moonlight shimmered on the water, and I whispered into the night, "Goodbye, Daniel." Footsteps approached. I turned, and there he was, standing by the oak tree. "Emma," he said quietly. "I don't remember everything, but when you're near, I feel something. A warmth. A longing." My heart leapt. Then maybe the memories are still inside you. Hidden. He looked at me for a long time. Perhaps. But even if I never remember, maybe we can start again. The choice. Tears streamed down my face. A part of me wanted to seize the chance, to rebuild, to write a new love story on the ashes of the old one. But another part knew the truth: he was not the Daniel I once loved. That Daniel was gone, lost to the accident. The man before me was kind, but he was not mine. I stepped closer, touched his hand, and whispered, "I will always love who you were. But I cannot ask you to love me for something you don't remember." His eyes softened with sorrow. He didn't stop me as I walked away. The powerful end. I left the cabin at dawn. The oak tree disappeared in the rearview mirror, along with the man who had once been my world. As the road stretched before me, I realized love is not always about holding on. Sometimes, it's about letting go with grace. He chose, whether by fate or by accident, to forget me. And I chose to remember him, not with bitterness, but with gratitude for the summer we once shared. Because some loves aren't meant to last forever in reality. But they last forever in memory. And though he forgot me, I will carry him always.